we get all this college basketball talk? It's like, it's 6 months until the season begins, November. But there's more. And it concerns the Tri-Cities. Jalen Cone, point guard from Walkertown, North Carolina. Today he will make his decision on where he's going to play. There are 6 schools that are said to be in the running. Perhaps the 2 leaders are Virginia Tech and Tennessee. And I mentioned this with Caleb Calhoun on Tuesday. By the way, I'm Marky Billson, Tri-City Sports Now, 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. I mentioned this on Tuesday that it brings back some memories. It's different but similar. It's a basketball player, not a football player. But a generation ago in the Tri-Cities, but also Jake Householder, who had a big role on the 99 national championship team, as well, national championship playing for team, I should say. That's not even good grammar. The team that played for the national championship in when they lost to Florida State, and I guess it would have been the BCS final. Was it a bowl game or something? I forget, because the one that Tennessee beat Florida State in was the Fiesta Bowl, and I forgot. I'm sorry, Hokies fans, yell at me all you want, but I've forgotten if it was the orange or the sugar or the rose that or the cotton. I don't think it was a cotton, but if it was the Independence and all the bowl that it was the BCS. Okay, anyway. Virginia Tech, Tennessee, NC State, and Wake Forest. Those are in-state schools. Boston College and Texas A&M. Cone is tweeting that he will make his decision at 4 at his high school, which is Walkertown, North Carolina. According to the 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball, and folks, please do not take this to be gospel. Wait till the 4 p.m. decision. But the heavy favorite, according to the 24/7 Crystal Ball, their pick, not mine, for the 8th best point guard in this recruiting class, according to 24/7. A 4-star point guard, Virginia Tech. So what you want? I'll get Virginia Tech. And so there you go. I'm a little surprised. Maybe it is an Awake or an NC State, since it's in state. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't like North Carolina or so. But anyway, that would be a big get for Virginia Tech. No question about it. But we'll just have to wait and see. So there you go. Tri-City Sports Now, and I'm Marky Billson. You just heard the interview that everybody wanted to hear with me and Steve Ford. I was very gracious for that to happen. I'm glad to know a little where he is standing now and such. All right. I wanted to say one thing here and just close this out. The Carolina Panthers. They don't call themselves the North Carolina Panthers. Obviously, they don't call themselves the South Carolina Panthers. And they are the Carolina, and they're thinking about how do we relate to both states and not just be the quote-unquote Charlotte Panthers. And the idea now is that their new owner, David Tepper, used to be with the Steelers, he's got a message for lawmakers in South Carolina who are considering a package that will provide $120 million in tax breaks for a practice center about 30 miles south down the road in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I used to be a South Carolinian. Well, a real little boy. And we were in Columbia. And my grandparents would drive me when we were going to go to Carowinds, okay? And the road from Columbia to Charlotte was basically US 21 until you got to Rock Hill, and that's where 77 started. I mean, it was under construction between Rock Hill and just the outskirts of Columbia. You had to get on US 21. And that was an interesting drive and all of that. But Rock Hill is where Charlotte basically began. Okay, but it's 30 miles south. And I believe the Charlotte Knights minor league team used to play in Rock Hill. We'd like to be there. Hopefully they'll help us out there. I could be with a practice bubble and cafeteria in Charlotte too. It's up to them. Tepper's plan doesn't include just relocating the Panthers' day-to-day and off-field business to Rock Hill. It includes that, by the way, but it includes an orthopedic sports medicine facility and a hotel with at least 150 rooms and conference spaces. The team is eyeing a 200-acre parcel, and it would begin construction this year. It could open as soon as 2022. The thing is, State Senator Dick Harpootlian, freshman senator, blocked the incentives bill in March in an effort to force the governor and state commerce department to release its projections about the economic impact the deal will have for South Carolina. And I don't blame him. And a lot of South Carolina legislators say from the low country are saying, what do we get out of this? And those that are in, Aiken say, we root for the Falcons. And there is all that. Now, by the way, the Panthers did used to play in South Carolina. They played in Clemson their inaugural year in '95, but not since then. But this is an idea to try to be in both states. I can see that it would be a real rough thing. Boy, I know a lot of media probably would not like to make the 30-mile drive down to Rock Hill on a daily basis. I will tell you that. I'm almost positive of that. So there you go. I will tell you this. I am a little sick and tired of tax breaks for stadiums. I know that there is an economic build your own.